maybe 4 or 5 nail polish colors that were all just shades of beige. It was a sad beige world. I mean, it's still a sad beige world, but it's a bougier sad beige world. Yeah, minimalism is so much easier with money, guys. Like, everyone was right. Everyone was like, minimalism is for the rich. To a certain extent, it kind of... Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and I make minimalism videos. So I have a little bit of time, I finished work, and I still have a bit of energy, which is so rare. Normally after work, I go watch a show and eat junk food, but I'm like on a social media kick. So today I wanted to share with you guys my relationship with shopping and minimalism, and just kind of like talk you guys through it, because like I haven't really touched upon that. I've definitely put minimalism on the back burner for those of you who've been following my channel for a period of time. I didn't have anything to say about minimalism. Like, what more could I possibly say? But I definitely have some fresh eyes. I've been at my abundance era for 2 years now, and I just want to share what's worked, what's not worked, where am I in my minimalism, what do I think, what are my thoughts now that I have disposable income, like what's my take. So yeah, I got a couple things that I want to talk about. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! Okay, so the elephant in the room. What's it like being a minimalist with a disposable income? Really nice. It is like night and day. There's a massive difference between not wanting to buy something, because like I already have like 7 of them, like my scuba zips, versus I can't afford it. Like I can't even afford one. So let's just do a mental gymnastics and tell myself #minimalism, and so I can't buy it. It's such a massive difference. Yeah, minimalism is so much easier with money, guys. Like, everyone was right. Everyone was like, minimalism is for the rich. To a certain extent, it kind of, not that it kind of is, but it's, and this is just my own personal take. When I was a broke student in med school and like I had no money, minimalism, that was like among one of the roughest things I've ever done. Like that was hard. Like that was hardcore. That was a discipline. That was telling yourself a no, not right now. It is really different when it's like, I already have like 5 of them. Like I don't need like a 6th one. That's where I'm at in my minimalism journey. So I definitely find it's a lot easier to practice in abundance than it was when there was no abundance. But #mental gymnastics, #abundance. So I do think that minimalism does make a lot of sense for someone who used to be a shopaholic. Becoming a minimalist is a really good, like it ties in well. Like you have a lot, like it's easy, you know, there's a surplus that you can access, that like when you're broke and you're poor and you have nothing, like yeah, I guess minimalism is easier like that. Like you're starting off strong, like you don't even have anything. Okay, coming in at number 2, what's my relationship with shopping? That one's actually harder. I felt it was actually a little bit easier to not buy something, because if I bought something and I didn't have a lot of money, it was like very painful to part with the money. Like, you know, if like I only had 20 bucks, getting rid of like 10, like that's already half, you know, it was really hard. Like shopping and not buying something was way easier when I didn't have as much, because every purchase was painful. But with like, you know, a surplus of money, and I'm so blessed that like things are different now. I'm not trying to be braggy. I'm really just trying to share in the most transparent way possible where I'm at, and so you guys can understand my thought process with minimalism. But yeah, now buying something that's like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, like it doesn't really bother me. Like it it's not much of a dent. Like I could buy it and I could buy another one, and like I could probably afford a third, and like it just becomes clutter at this point, rather than like, oh my god, like that was expensive. Like I don't look at the menu anymore in the restaurant when I eat. I've gotten to the point where I don't really blink when I look at the price of clothing either. I think more so like I probably shouldn't buy 2. Just pick one. It's more like that. Whereas before I would think like, can I even buy one? And then I would do mental gymnastics and think like, if I save for like X amount of months and didn't buy this and that, could I buy this? So that's nice. Like I don't have to sacrifice food to be able to buy some of the more like bougier things. Like I remember a couple of years ago, shopping at Lululemon on the regular was something that I considered obscene. And now I did that for a period of time. Like I was buying Lululemon hauls. My last hauls, I stopped filming it because I just got so embarrassed. I just couldn't do it. As somebody who grew up without wealth, it just became so obscene, and I was like, hey, yeah, I can't do this. What's all this rambly thought? What I'm trying to say is that like, yeah, my relationship with shopping is a lot different. It's a lot easier to buy things now, so I have to be even more disciplined is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Whereas before it was easier and I'd be like, I can't even afford that, so let's not. And it was easy to walk away from it. That now, you know what I think? I'll be like, oh my gosh, it won't be here if I come back for it, which is so stupid, because like there'll be something else I could buy. Like if not that, probably something else. Okay, coming in at number 3, what do I think of all of the clutter? It's kind of embarrassing a little bit. Like sometimes in my videos, like I'll see all the clothes, or even like sometimes there, like I'm tired after work, guys. Like I don't really have like the mental energy to clean, but like sometimes it's embarrassing. But I'll be fully transparent. It's also filled me with so much joy. I love seeing the excess and the surplus. So like that's kind of where I'm at. Like on the one hand, it's annoying and I find the clutter annoying if I don't organize it. But on the other hand, like it just fills me with so much joy. You won't know the joy of having choice unless you've been an extreme minimalist. Like I remember I didn't have choice. Like I had like 1 or 2 items and like that was it. And I get sick of it, like absolutely sick of it. But now I have choice, which sometimes is kind of like a double-edged sword. Sometimes I'll be like, ew, like too much, like, what is that? Mental fatigue, picking something, decision fatigue. But I do like having choice. I do like being able to change the color of my sweater, the color of my phone case. I have several phone case colors. Changing my rings, changing my nail polish color. Like it's still similar colors, but it's nice to be able to change. Like I remember when I had literally only 1 phone case and only like maybe 4 or 5 nail polish colors that were all just shades of beige. It was a sad beige world. I mean, it's still a sad beige world, but it's a bougier sad beige world. The other thing is, okay, so coming in at point, whatever this point is, my relationship with money. So minimalism and money has always been closely tied together for me. It was definitely a more toxic relationship when I didn't really have money, when I was struggling, when I was paying off student loans. That was a rough time, and I didn't have a healthy relationship with money, and I didn't have a healthy relationship with minimalism. Now that I've like worked on my relationship with money and there is money, I think less about money. I was really obsessed when I had no money, and I was really obsessed with my minimalism when I had no money. I feel a lot more relaxed about both. I feel like I'm not constantly checking my bank account. Just like I'm not constantly decluttering. I'm not constantly rearranging and shuffling and like obsessively reading minimalism articles. Like I definitely feel a lot more relaxed about both. I've also realized that like those videos I used to make about like finance and money and rich, it's just so embarrassing now. I can't believe I used to make videos like that. But guys, like you have to have some sympathy for me. I genuinely was trying to manifest that for myself. I was like, I kept trying to put those vibes into the universe, like telling the universe like I want financial abundance and like blah blah blah. So like, can you really blame a girl? Like that's the other thing. I think that talking about that content is really crass. When I didn't have anything, like I felt like it's all I wanted to talk about. I find myself embarrassed to talk about money now. Like sometimes when like I'm with like family or friends and like we talk numbers, I don't want to tell people how much I paid. It's not a good look. I'm like I don't want to tell you. It's like the number's embarrassing. It's like it's a big number. Like I'd rather not. Like I'd rather you just not think I'm an idiot for spending that money on that. Because like I remember when like I didn't have money and people would say how much they spent on stuff, I'd be like, you're a freaking idiot. Like what does that like have to do with my minimalism? I find that like I'm not so strict with my rules. Like, I feel like if money can solve it, money can solve it. And I try not to be so dogmatic with my minimalism. Like, if I have duplicates, like, it doesn't bother me. I also don't subscribe to some of the crazy and obsessive notions about minimalism I used to subscribe to, which is weird because I thought that if I had more money, I would do the opposite. Well, let me tell you what I think. So there was, in my extreme minimalism, a period of time where I was like, oh, if they were rich, they carry a small bag and they don't have to, you know, carry their own lunch because they can buy their own lunch and they don't need to have an umbrella because if they need an umbrella, they could just buy it. These type of things were, and so why I lacked. That was my thought process. But now that I actually have money, I actually have lots of umbrellas. I have an umbrella in the house. If I go for a walk, I have an umbrella. I have an umbrella in the car and I have a mini umbrella in my bag. Like I have a surplus and I don't know, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe I'm just like what happens when like people like not get money, but yeah, I guess like not broke. I get why people have cluttered homes now because it's like I could have another umbrella and that's convenient and that's nice. Something else that's changed, I have a lot more stuff. I guess I can afford to have more things, so I'm not so dogmatic with all that stuff. Like a little tiny bag. The only reason I had such a tiny bag is because like I owned nothing, so I had nothing to carry. Like I had this funny dogmatic saying I used to say, like the purse is inverse proportional to the wealth. So the more money you had, the smaller the bag. I love that idea. I was obsessed with that idea in my extreme minimalism. I have the opposite thought. I have a lot of lippies and I have 2 phones, one for like TikTok and another one for YouTube. And I have a couple wallets because I have more credit cards. So I have a bigger bag. I have a mid-sized bag now because I have a lot of things that your girl needs to carry. So it's really different that I thought I would be more minimalistic the more money I had, but it turned out to be the opposite. So yeah, I guess in conclusion, like, where am I'm like in a much healthier place. So now that I have like abundance, like moving forward, what does this mean for my minimalism? I actually feel like I'm in a place where I think I'm probably gonna start to par down. I really don't think I'll be decluttering. A lot of my purchases are intentional and I love my stuff. I will still probably just let go of like ratty stuff, really old stuff, stained, ruined, whatever, and like let that go. But for the most part, I'm happy with this. Like, I've like reached that place that Marie Kondo talks about as like the, I don't know what she calls it, but like the happy place of like the right equilibrium. That's currently where I'm at. But I definitely will be paring down because I don't know, I just feel like having taken a break from it for a while has reignited my love of it. I started watching Shogun, and the Japanese Zen Buddhistic just aesthetic is like everything. Like, I love that aesthetic. So I think I will be returning more to that just because I like the discipline in moderation. There shall be no extremes here, but a little bit of discipline is always good. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little mini minimalism update, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.